Today I am here to give a lecture on motivation. This is the topic of organization behavior, unit 2nd. So, first we talk about the introduction of motivation. The people differ by their nature not only in their ability to perform a specific task but also in their willing to do so. The people with a less ability but a strong will are able to perform better than the people with a more ability and the lack of will. The hard work is crucial to the success and achievement, and this will to do is known as motivation. This is called a motivation. In simple words, the motivation to unsatisfied need of a pupil. To satisfy the unsatisfied need of a pupil, that is called a motivation in a simple word. So if the pupil have an unsatisfied need, then he will motivate. The word motivation is derived from the motive, which defined as the active form of desire and need, which must be satisfied. All motives are directed towards the goal. Need and desire change your behavior, which become goal oriented. For example, here, if you have an unsatisfied need, then you will motivate. Just simply the example, if in organization the people say do the overtime work. If you don't need a money, then you will not do the overtime work. But if you have a need of money, or if you have a need of more money, that is an unsatisfied need of you, then you will do the overtime work and you will get a money. That is your unsatisfied need. The definition, we talk about the definition of motivation. Motivation represents an unsatisfied need which creates a state of tension or a disequilibrium, causing an individual to move in a goal-directed patterns towards restoring a state of equilibrium by satisfying the needs. This is the definition of motivations. Now, we talk about the process of motivation. The process of motivation, as we see in a diagram, the unsatisfied need which create a tension or a disequilibrium, then the action, movement or the behavior. The fourth one is a goal equilibrium, and fifth one is a feedback, possible modification of unsatisfied need. But this process will never end, because this is a continuous process. This process is again and again and again. Why? The reason behind it, the needs are never end. So here, if you have an unsatisfied need, just take an example. If you have an unsatisfied need that you don't have a job, so it will create a tension in your mind or a disequilibrium. So you will do the hard work, you will take an action, movement or behavior. On that basis, you will get a job. On that basis, you get your goal equilibrium. The feedback, that you have a possible modification of your unsatisfied need, because you have satisfied your need, that you get a job. But now you have again unsatisfied need, that you want a job security. So this process will never be end. Some of the source of motivation, some of these motivational sources are positive motivation, negative motivation, extrinsic motivation, intrinsic motivation. Positive motivation means here the pupil is recognized by the organizations and always positively motivate to do the work in that particular way. That is called a positive motivation. That you will get a more responsibility and authority, you will get a chance to perform in a more important committee of the organization. That is a positive motivation. The negative motivation, it is also called a fear motivation. Here the pupil, the manager will negatively motivate you to perform in a better way, otherwise you will lose your job. That is called a negative motivation. Extrinsic motivation, which is in terms of money. So here the pupil financially motivate, here the manager financially motivate the subordinate to perform better, that you will get a promotion, you will get a jobs, you will get a promotion, you will get a bonus. These are the, and intrinsic motivation, which is in not terms of money, means here they always motivate the employee through their job satisfaction. That means that they will provide a tour, just take an example, they were, if you complete that particular target, then you will get a tour of Dubai. So that is a form of intrinsic motivations. Now this is the most important topic of organization behavior, and in the organization, in motivation, the most important is the theory of motivation. So here we will discuss the content theories. The theory of motivation, some of the more important content theories are the Maslow theory, ERG theory, McLean theory, Hazard two-factor theory. So there are the four theory of motivation. We discuss first we discuss about the Maslow model. The Maslow model, it is also called a need hierarchy theory. Maslow theory is probably the most widely theory used of motivation in organizations. This theory is given by the Abraham Maslow. His theory is based on two assumptions. The first one, that the human being have a many needs that are different in nature, ranging from the biological need at the lower level, which is a level of survival, to the psychological need at the upper level, which is the level of growth. And the second, that these needs occur in order of hierarchy. That's why this is the need hierarchy theory, so that the lower level need must be satisfied before higher level need arise. So this is all about the Maslow theory. Here you can see the diagram of Maslow theory. Maslow theory model, physiological need. Physiolocal need means होता है रोटी कपड़ा एंड मकान, that the food, clothes and shelter. So first you have a need of food, clothes and shelter. Once the first need is satisfied, then it will arise the again unsatisfied need, that is a safety and security, means you should have a job. So when you get a job, then it will arise the another need or another unsatisfied need, that you want a social interactions, or you have a social unsatisfied need, that you want to make an interaction with the society, the people will know you. So that is a social need. These three needs are the deficiency needs, because deficiency means the kami. These three needs are the deficiency needs, and these two needs are the growth need, that is the self-esteem need. Now everybody know you, now you have a self-esteem need, that everybody know you will become a most important person of the city, or you will become a most important person of the country. So that is called a self-esteem, that is a esteem, as you know. Then the last but not the least, that the self-actualization. Self-actualization means in Hindi that is called a moksha, means the fullest use of your capability and potentiality. Here just you can take the example of the Tata Birla. He is at a self-actualization need, because now he is making a Birla Mandir in every city. That is a self-actualization need. For what? For moksha. Second need, every theories is based on the Maslow theory. The Maslow is the most important widely used theory. The second theory is the ERG theory. ERG need theory developed by the Clayton Elder Fair. ERG theory is a refinement of the Maslow need hierarchy, instinct of Maslow 5 need. The ERG theory condensed these 5 needs into the 3 needs. These 3 needs are those of the existence, relatedness and growth. So here you can see the diagram. I have already described the Maslow theory, and the Maslow theory is now condensed in a 3 needs, that is a growth, relatedness and existence. So here you can see the physiological and safety need, that is called the existence. It is most important for the existence of the pupil, that these needs must be satisfied. The another is a social and self-esteem lower need, that is a relatedness. That it means that there is a interaction with the society and the people know to you in a society, that is called a relatedness. And the growth means the self-esteem upper need and self-actualization need, that is a growth need. Now, the third theory, that is a McClelland theory of need. A study conducted by Harvard psychologist David McClelland concluded that from the organizational viewpoint, from the organizational point of view, the most prominent need is the need for affiliation, need for achievement, need for power, and need for affiliations. So here we will discuss the three needs on the basis of the David McClelland. So need for achievement means it well performed a challenging task, means the person who has a need for achievement, he can well perform in a challenging task. The need for power means here is the desire to affect and control the behavior of the other, because you have a need for power, that you can control the behavior of others, you can affect the behavior of the others. And need for affiliation is related to the social need and reflect a desire for friendly and warm relationship with others, because you should have also a social interaction, that is called a warm and friendly relationship with others. So that is called a need for affiliations. Last but not the least, Hazard two-factor theory. Now we talk about the Hazard two-factor theory. Frederick Hazard and his association developed the two-factor theory in the late 1950s and earlier 1960s as a part of the study of job satisfaction. Here we will talk about the job satisfaction. The Hazard named the factor that are related to the job satisfaction as a motivational factor and which are intrinsic in nature, and the factor related to the job dissatisfaction as a maintenance or a hygiene factor which are extrinsic in nature. So first we discuss about the hygiene factor. Hygiene factor do not motivate the pupil, they simply prevent the dissatisfactions, and the elimination of dissatisfaction does not mean satisfactions. These factors simply maintain a zero level of motivation. Here you can take the example, if they will provide a money but you don't have a job satisfaction, so that doesn't mean that you are a satisfied person, you are satisfied from your job. So these factor called a hygiene factor. Even the elimination of dissatisfaction but does not mean a satisfactions. The word hygiene is taken from the medical field, where it means to take step to maintain your health but not necessarily improve it. You are taking an action, but it is not means that your health will improve. That is called a hygiene factor. Motivational factor, second one is a motivational factor. These factors are related to the nature of the work and are intrinsic to the job itself, and these factors have a positive influence on the moral satisfaction, efficiency, and higher productivity. Some of these factors are the job itself. If you like your job, that means that you are satisfied with your job. If you like your job, if you don't like, then you are not satisfied, even you are doing a job. So the job itself is also a motivational factor. Recognition, when you recognize by the top management, when you recognize by the manager always, that will create a motivation, and it will give a motivation to you that to perform better in our organizations. Achievement, if you are getting achievement again and again in our organization, if you are doing a well work in our organizations, that you will always be motivated to get again and again reward from the organizations. Responsibility, if you have a lot of responsibility in our organizations, it will provided by the top management to you, that you feel that you are an important part of the organization, so that you will always be motivated. And the growth and advancement, definitely if you are motivated in our organizations, then it will create a growth of the organization and it will make the advancement in our organizations. This is a hygiene factors. This is a Hazard two-factor theories. These the physiological need, safety need, social need, esteem need, self-actualization need. These are the hygiene factor: physiological need, safety need, and social need. Here they will provide a zero level motivation, and self-esteem and self-actualization need, these are the motivational factors. So this is all about the theories of motivation, and this is all about the motivation unit second. Thank you.